Hi, this is National Sales Director Auri Hatheway, and today we're going to learn how to match foundations. So if you have your Mary Kay University manual, you're going to turn to page 45, and here's my chart that I created, and it says how to match foundations, and then there is an actual foundation chart on the other side. And so I'm going to build up your confidence and just let you know that about 90% of what I'm about to share with you, you already know just because you're a woman, okay? And so I'm just gonna organize it for you so that you can realize, wow, you really know a lot more than you even thought you knew about matching foundations. And so matching foundations is actually much, much simpler than whatever you can imagine. And so inside of your starter kit, there was like a little tool that came to match foundations with clear strips, and I've never used it because I find that when you really just use these 3 simple steps, it's actually so much more effective and so much more confidence building experience for you. So here we go. If you're taking notes, you just want to write down that there's 3 questions that you need answers to in order to get someone's foundation perfectly. I can even match someone's foundation over the phone and never having had met them if they can answer these 3 questions. So the first question I need to ask is she ivory, is she beige, or is she bronze? Now, you can, if you're not sure if she's ivory, beige, or bronze, you can simply ask the person, but you can pretty much look at someone and you can know if they're ivory, beige, or bronze. And so for this class, I'm just going to use celebrities because pretty much we all know some celebrities. And so when we think about Nicole Kidman, is she ivory, beige, or bronze? Well, it's pretty obvious. She's going to be ivory. I mean, people don't come much paler than her, okay? What about Oprah Winfrey? She's pretty bronze, huh? This is simple, right? What about J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez? Yeah, she's beige, okay? So you can pretty much tell if someone's ivory, if they're beige, or if they're bronze. This is kind of like common sense. What about people who live on a line? You're like, oh gosh, I can't tell if she's ivory or she's beige, or I can't tell if she's beige or if she's bronze, right? Like they're right there on the line. Well, you don't have to guess. Guess what? You just ask her. Have you ever heard that saying, beauty lies in the eye of the beholder, right? So just ask the customer. The customer is never wrong. Let's pretend she is wrong. Hey, guess what? I'm going to start whatever she says. So if she says she's beige, even though I really think she's bronze, I'm going to start with the beige foundation, and she's going to say, oh, wow, that's a little light. I say, yeah, let's just move up. I'd rather make her feel right than be like, really? I don't think you're beige. I think you're more bronze. And then we're going to have a whole argument about it. So if you're not sure about whether she's beige or bronze, ask her, say, would you consider yourself a dark beige, or do you consider yourself a light bronze? Okay, so that's actually question number 2. Is she light or dark in her category? Is she light or dark in her category? Now she might be medium in her category, okay? And so you've determined that she's a bronze, but is she light bronze? Is she medium bronze? Or is she dark bronze, okay? And once again, you want to start thinking about people that you may know as a point of reference, or if you don't know someone, use a celebrity. Is she light ivory, medium ivory, dark ivory? Is she light beige? Is she medium beige? Or is she dark beige? So since you're looking at me, we're going to use me as an example. Would you think I'm ivory? Am I beige? Or am I bronze? Okay, so now that you thought about it, I am beige, okay? And then the question is, am I light beige or am I dark beige? Okay, I'm actually light to medium beige. I'm kind of like right in the middle, okay? And so once you get practice, you'll get really good at this. But let's just use a famous person, for example. Oprah Winfrey. Is she ivory, beige, or bronze? She's bronze. Very good. Is she a light bronze or a dark bronze? She's a dark bronze. That's exactly right. It's not like she's Halle Berry, right? She is a dark bronze. And now the last question you want to ask is, we've got Oprah Winfrey. We know she's a dark bronze, okay? What does her skin tone do in the sun, okay? What does her skin tone do in the sun if she's not wearing sunblock? And this is how we narrow it down. So one of the cool things that you'll notice about your foundations, if you're looking at your foundation chart, is there's ivory 1 through 7. Then there's beige 1 through 8, and then there's bronze 1 through 8. So if we were matching Oprah Winfrey, and we said she's a bronze, and then we said she's a dark bronze, she's going to be a 5, 6, 7, or 8. A 5, you'll notice it's an orange, is an orange undertone. A 6 is a yellow undertone, and a 7 and an 8 is bronze undertone. okay? So if we were to ask Oprah Winfrey, hey, Oprah, if you go in the sun without sunblock, what would your skin do? It would actually get a deeper shade of bronze. And so what we would do is we would stripe test her. It's between 7 and 8. Those are the two options, 7 and 8. We'd open up 7, we'd open up 8, and you would do it just like this. Take off the cap, tap your finger right there, and you do a stripe test right along her jaw. One with the 7, one with the 8. Whichever one blends in more naturally, that's her foundation shade. Oprah would be a bronze 7, okay? All right, so you're probably wondering, well, how do we know? Well, there's a little chart that I created, and it tells you what their skin tone does in the sun if they're not wearing sunblock. If they're pink, guess what? This is so obvious, you probably know this. Pink skin in the sun will burn. Very good. What about yellow? This is probably the only thing I'm about to teach you, okay? Yellow skin, it gets pink and then it tans. And so right here we have Kate Hudson, and this is actually a paler picture of Kate Hudson. If you see a picture of Kate Hudson, she actually looks like a golden, I mean, even her mom, Goldie Hawn, is pretty golden, okay? Because once a yellow undertoned person gets sun, guess what? They keep tanning, okay? The first time that might go pink, but then they tan. What about an olive undertone? Well, this one's obvious. Olive undertone in the sun gets more olive, right? It doesn't burn, it just gets olive. What about orange undertone? This may be one that you don't know. And a famous actress, Mindy Kaling, is orange undertone, okay? Orange undertone, when they go in the sun, they tend to get a deeper shade of orange, okay? And what about bronze undertone? That's right, you guessed it. Bronze undertone in the sun gets more bronze, okay? So really, these are the only 2 things I've taught you. Everything else has kind of been common sense, things that you already know, okay? And so pink skin in the sun is gonna burn, yellow skin will get pink and then it'll tan, olive just tans. Orange undertone gets a deeper shade of orange, and then bronze undertone gets more bronze, okay? A lot of people, not all people, but a lot of people that are from the country of India or of Indian descent can have this orange undertone to them, okay? Also, you will not find orange undertone in the ivory or in the beige. It is strictly for bronze undertones, okay? You will not find bronze undertone in these either. But you can find pink, olive, and yellow undertones within the bronze. So what does that mean? The bronze family alone has the highest number of skin tones out of all 3 of those families. As a matter of fact, you can combine all the ivory and all the beige together, and there would still be more bronze skin tone. There's more variation within the bronze. What does that mean? Sometimes to find the perfect match for someone with bronze skin, you will mix 2 foundation shades together. Having said that, Mary Kay still offers the largest selection of foundations for bronze skin tone on the market, okay? And so one of the things we love about our bronze foundation is your skin never looks opaque, it never looks gray, and it never looks dull. It has this flawless finish to it, okay? So that's basically how you match foundation. It's those 3 things, okay? So let's match Nicole Kidman. Is she ivory, beige, or bronze? She's ivory. Is she a light ivory or a dark ivory? Or she could be medium. I'm going to say medium. Let's just go with medium. I mean, people have looked paler than her, although she's pretty light, but let's go with medium, okay? What does her skin tone do in the sun if she got sun? She'd probably get pink and then she would burn. So we're going to go to our chart here. She's ivory. We have ivory 1 through 7. She's in the medium, so she's going to be anywhere between 3, 4, 5, 6, right in here. If she pinks, if she gets pink and burn, she's going to be a 3 or she's going to be a 6. So I'm going to do a stripe test right here on her jaw, and we'll find out if Nicole Kidman is either a 3 or a 6 by doing a stripe test. One will naturally just blend in, okay? What about Kate Hudson? She's got yellow undertone in her. Well, is she ivory, beige, or bronze? Well, gosh, I don't know, Ari. Is she a dark ivory? Is she a light beige? I can't tell. She seems to be on a line, right? Well, let's look on our chart. If she's a dark ivory, ivory 5, 6, or 7, or is she a light beige, beige 1, 2, or 3? Well, we know she's yellow. what's the yellow in here? Only beige 1 and beige 2. We would open up the beige 1 and beige 2 and do a stripe test and find out if Kate Hudson were beige 1 or beige 2. See, this is not that complicated. Once you follow the questions, it almost always narrows it down to 2 foundation shades, and then you match. Let's do Jessica Alba. Jessica Alba is definitely a beige, and she's definitely a dark beige, and she definitely tans in the sun. I mean, these are things that are obvious, right? So let's go here to our foundation chart where we've got our beige. Beige 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She's a dark beige, so she'll be between the 5, 6, 7, or 8. She tans, which means she's olive, so I'm looking for something that has green. She's either a 6 or a 7. When I do the stripe test on Jessica Alba, she'll be a beige 7. Okay, and we already did Oprah Winfrey. So you want to start doing practice. That's why one of your goals is to do 30 practice facials in 30 days so that you can get really good at this. So I'm going to give you a tip, and I learned this from $1 Million Sales Director Callie DeBlander. So this is my foundation case. Okay, you can get this on Mary Kay Connections, and inside it has pockets, and these are all my ivories, these are all my beige, and these are all my bronze. Do you need all of these when you get started? No, not at all. For example, if you live in South Florida and there's a lot of Latins here and you yourself are of Latin descent, chances are a big Latin market, you need all the beige. But if you are a bronze skin tone and all your family is bronze, then you're gonna need all the bronze foundations. In South Florida, you do not need ivory foundations. As a matter of fact, in all my 13 years in Mary Kay, I've only sold 5 ivory foundations. That's how few ivory people live here in South Florida. So this is just an example. But let's say you live up in the Northeast. Gosh, you're probably gonna need more of these ivory foundations, okay? So just depending on the demographics that you're working with and where you are in the country will determine how many samples of what you need. But I'm just gonna show you an example. I'm at a party. My customer is of Latin descent. She's beige, okay? And she invited all her cousins. Guess what? All her cousins are beige. This is my beige kit right here. By looking at her, I can tell she's a dark beige. So I already have these numbered, beige 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Watch this. Based off of the undertone, I put stickers. So this is beige 6, so I put a green sticker because beige 6 is an olive. You see it says well done. I just use those little teacher stickers that you get like at a teacher store, like Get Smart. Okay, look at this one, beige 8. I put pink because it's got a pink undertone. Beige 3 has a pink undertone. Do you see that? Okay, so all my foundations are in here and they're numbered in numerical order and they all have stickers. And so it goes 1 through 8. And so because I know she's dark, she's gonna be a 5, 6, 7, or 8. So I don't even have to look at these. And I just ask her one question. Hey, Amanda, quick question. If you go in the sun, do you instantly tan or you get pink before you get tan? She's like, no, actually I get a little pink first. Well, there's only 2 with pink. It's beige 5 and beige 8. And gosh, I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna do a stripe test. So I do a stripe test and one's gonna blend in like that. Okay, so have you ever seen like your director just look at people and just put product down on the tray? You're like, how does she even know? Because it comes with practice. At some point you don't have to ask. I do want to talk about a few specific cases that are kind of like unique, that it takes a while to figure this out. So I may as well just tell you so you don't have to go through all the hardship that I did. But literally, as long as you've got these stickers on your foundations, you don't even need your chart at your party because I can just look at, okay, she says she's bronze. She's a light bronze, so she's going to be a bronze 1, 2, 3, or 4. Her skin is orange, and she says it gets a deeper shade of orange. There's only one here with orange. It's bronze 3. Let me do a stripe test. The only other one with orange is bronze 5, but if 3 doesn't work, then I'll do the 5. Like, you guys, the stickers, like, that's it. You don't even need to take your charts with you. I know this is brilliant. I'm really done teaching you how to match foundations. I told you it'd be 5 minutes, but there's the chart. And what's important about this is once you have someone's foundation shade, you can convert over to find out what cream to powder she would use and what concealer she would use and what powder she would use and what mineral powder she would use, okay? So that the conversion chart is important, but I have a few tips that I want to share with you because these are things that are not obvious, okay? Ivory 5 will typically still get pink in the sun and not just naturally tan because when you look at the chart, Ivory 5 is green listed as olive, okay? Just so you know. Beige 8 and bronze 2 on the chart both have pink undertones, but because they're so dark, they don't really burn in the sun. That person that's a beige 8 is not going to tell you that they burn. They're like, no, I just tan. However, their skin has a naturally red shade to it. Someone of American Indian descent would have this red skin, or if they're mixed with some type of Indian descendants, they tend to have this reddishness in their skin, okay? So if they're Native American, or even mixed with any type of Native Indian, that would make their skin a little bit more red undertone, okay? So they may not necessarily burn in the sun, okay? Also, the bronze family has more variations, like I just told you, and therefore mixing foundations is extremely common to get that perfect shade. However, it's not necessarily necessary. We have such a great selection, okay? Also, on bronze skin tone, they tend to have more discoloring. And so sometimes this is called masking, and it's not always obvious and it doesn't always stand out, but this can also happen with beige skin, okay? But it happens more with bronze skin. And so a great question to ask someone that you could tell, okay, the outside edge of her face is darker than the inside. I mean, you don't want to say that. That would be very offensive to someone. So you would say, so you have a few choices today. I can match your foundation shade to the lighter shade of your face, and that's probably right around here. Or would you like me to match you to the darker shade around the outside edge? Totally your choice. And so I let her choose. More than likely, they choose the lighter shade, but not always, but it's her choice. Which would you prefer? Okay, and so then I'll match her to this shade, and then on the outer edge, we just blend more, we put more primer, whatever the case may be. Okay, bronze 3 and bronze 5 both have orange undertones, and that's characteristic is common in people from the country of India or of Indian descent. If it does look too orange, just so you know, if that shade does look too orange, you want to mix it with a yellow undertone foundation, because orange is made up of yellow and pink, okay? And the yellow will tone it down if it does look too orange, okay? A quick test to know if someone has pink undertone is, if you're not sure, always wait till you wash off the foundation, but you can ask her to take her finger and press it into her chest like that, kind of hard, and then she's gonna let go. And you'll notice that it gets pink. But if she really is pink undertone, this little dot will actually get really red in just a minute. Mine doesn't really do that because I don't really have pink undertone. And so hers will start to flare up and get red. And that's how you know they have pink undertone for real, okay? People also that have pink undertone, they tend to have pink cheeks naturally. And so one of the things I like to ask them is, hey, when you put on foundation, do you feel too pale? And they're like, yes, like always. I'm like, that's because you have pink cheeks and you've always had them your whole life. And so when they're gone, you're like, that's just not me. And so we are one of the few skincare lines out there that have a foundation made for pink undertones. So you're going to look even, but it's not going to take away your rosy cheeks that you're so used to having. And so people love that. Okay. So notice here, still not pink. For them, they'd have a big red dot. And you're like, okay, you're pink undertone. If you also want to know someone's undertone, you're not sure because they've gotten sun, the inside of your arm is a true telltale sign of your undertone as well too, okay? Always observe the chest area. When the chest is darker than the face, guaranteed they wear sunblock on their face and not on their chest. But you don't want to say that, so I just say, hey, is sunblock part of your daily routine? They're like, yeah. Like, do you wear it on your chest too or just your face? They're like, no, just my face. And be like, okay, because you have two different shades and I can match you to your chest for that flawless look, or I can match you to your face, but just know it's not going to match your chest. And so I let her choose. It's whatever the customer wants, okay? And then later on, once I've connected with her more, I say, just so you know, you really want to wear your Mary Kay skincare from your chest up, because you could tell a woman's age in her face, her chest, her neck, and in her hands, okay? So you want to go from your chest up, always going up and out, okay? If being outdoors and or tanning is part of your customer's routine, break them from it immediately. I'm just kidding. I just had to say that. That was funny. Okay. If tanning is part of your skincare customer's routine, they're probably going to need 2 shades of foundation. They just can't get around it. They're going to need one for the summer and they're going to need one for the winter. And in fall and in spring, they might be mixing the 2 together. Okay. What foundation shade am I? Okay, so am I ivory, beige, or bronze? We've decided I'm a beige. Am I light beige or dark beige? You're like, I don't know, but closer to the light side, which is true. So on our foundation chart, you would go into the beige categories right here, okay? And I'm somewhere between the lights and the mediums, right in there, right? And so you're gonna ask me, hey Ari, what does your skin tone do in the sun if you go in the sun without sunblock? And I will tan. I will tan. And that means that's this one, beige 4, and that's me. I'm a beige 4. So if you're wondering, what does a beige 4 look like? That's me, Ari. Now, if I get a tan, I will instantly move up to a beige 6, okay? But this little face of mine has not seen sun for 13 years. Thank you, Mary Kay, because the sure way to wrinkle yourself prematurely is sun damage. Okay, all right. And I think I just went through all of these scenarios. So these are my tips. This is how you match foundations. Isn't that simple? It's much simpler so than you probably imagine. So really the thing that you need is stickers on your foundations. You want to make sure you put all the stickers on your foundations, okay? Just like that. And that's basically it. And get your practice 30 faces in 30 days done. And that's really going to build up your self-confidence. Have an awesome, powerful, pink, and on purpose day matching foundations. Bye.